Good morning, everybody. Did you guys hear the news? I'm officially going to be selling on Whatnot. Kind of nervous, you guys, but my first official show is this January 10th, Wednesday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and you can come and bid on all these goodies that you see behind me. I'm kind of setting up because you guys know I move kind of slow, so I'm setting up and then you guys get a sneak peek as well. So if you guys don't have the Whatnot app or you guys don't know what Whatnot is, it's basically an auction app, or a kind of an auction site where you bid on the items. Now I'm not gonna have dollar starts and I can't start out like that. I wish I can, but we are gonna have some low starts compared to what I would sell my pieces at, because we're trying to move out some inventory and bring in some new one and have fun on this Whatnot app doing it. So you can download the app and go bookmark my show. I will have my link in the description so that you guys can go do that. And I'll go ahead and give you guys a little sneak peek of my little setup here. But if you guys can join me on Whatnot on Wednesday the 10th at 9 a.m., I would appreciate it. I would love all your guys' support as I fumble and learn how to do this. And we're just gonna be laid back, have fun, and just see what happens, you guys. So thank you guys for all the support, and I hope to guys see you there. Let's go ahead and do a quick little shot of everything that I have here. Now all these items will be up on auction. So I have some shabby chic, country, rustic, a little bit of Christmas left over, some signs, some music sheet bundles, some pretty plates, here we go, and so forth. So I'm gonna finish posting a few things that I see that I didn't post on, but you guys can go over there, check out the site, look at the starting bids, and even do a pre-bid. I'm hearing I still have to do my show, my run-through show that I gotta do, so I know all the ins and outs of the buttons. But let's go ahead and have some fun with this. You guys get some nice items for a discounted price and have fun bidding as well. So what do you guys think? Are you excited as I am? I'm kind of like that nervous, stomach kind of hurts, upset, excited kind of thing, like if I'm just gonna go on a roller coaster. But I don't even ride roller coasters. But anyhow, let me quit rambling, and I hope to see you guys there. Leave me your thoughts in the comments, or if there's things that you guys want me to see for the next show. But I'm just gonna keep doing this until my inventory runs low, and then kind of space out more of the shows. But see you guys Wednesday, once again, over on Whatnot, January 10th at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard. Now let's go ahead and jump into the video. Thank you guys. Hello everybody, happy new year, and welcome back to Emily's Upcycled Home. It's a bird kind of crafting day, so let's move on into project number 1. I'm coming in with these 2 ceramic frames. Now I like them as is. We're just going to come in and change up the insides and give them a little decorative element here with some paper and some transfers. And I'm coming in with the vintage music sheet paper, and I'm just going to cut the pieces out here to size on the piece. Now to measure my pieces, I'm coming in with the glass here that I'm taking out, and I'm just going to go ahead and bend my paper around that glass, measuring out the size I need for my frame here. And then I'm going to come in with just a pair of scissors and trim up all the excess of the paper so that it fits into the frame. Now I coming in with the second one as well and doing the same process here, just measuring out our papers. Now I have a lot of scraps of transfers here, now, so I can't really quite remember where I got everything from, but I think these ones here are from Amazon. And it's just a bird with some script and some pink flowers here. And I'm just going to go ahead with the back of my paintbrush or whatever tool I have here and rub on that transfer onto the paper. Put it back into our photo frame here. And I did the same thing to the other with a scrap piece of transfer with birds. And I think those are IOD transfers. And then we're going to go ahead and jump into project number 2, which is these glass candle holders here. Now they're not the same, they're different, but we're gonna come in with some Sea Spray by Dixie Belle, and we're gonna texture these babies up. And I'm gonna add a lot of texture here, and I'm gonna make my paste really thick here. And I'm just using my mixing bowl and a fork, a plastic fork, and I'm mixing in some regular chalk paint. And this is DIY chalk paint and the Dixie Belle. And I'm just using the color B board, which is basically a white chalk paint. I'm going to mix that up thoroughly, and it's going to come out with like a really thick frosting kind of batter here. That way it sticks onto our piece and it gives us so much texture. I just love using this product, very thick, and putting it on, it's almost like I make it like a plaster almost. So I'm just going to go ahead and add this all thoroughly to the top, the bottom, all the way around the piece, excluding the underneath part of our candlesticks. And I repeat that same step for the second one, applying the thick paste that we have going on here. And then we go ahead and let these thoroughly dry overnight. And then I just come in with the buffing block here, and I'm buffing off the pieces. I don't want it too chunky to where it's the pieces are poking out so much. I just come in with that buffing block just to like hit those really high spots that I don't like. And then we come back in with our beadboard chalk paint or clay-based paint by DIY, and we're going to go ahead and give this a full coat layer, hitting from the base all the way top to the top of the candle holder. And we're going to repeat that process for the second one, and we're going to go ahead and let those dry. So I found this bird in my stash, and I repeated that same process with the thick texture paste. And then we're coming in with this distress ink, and then we're just going to rub that all over the bird. And I'm going to come in with my top coat here, which is Big Top by DIY. And I'm going to go ahead and activate that ink and smear it all over the bird here, giving it a little rustic, crusty, rustic kind of look here. And then I'll go ahead and let this thoroughly dry. And this bird is going to go glued on top of that one candlestick right here you see in the frame. And what I'm going to use is some glue, and we're going to glue that on top, but we're going to let this thoroughly dry first, and then we're going to go ahead and seal in our white bases on our candlesticks. That way when I come in to repeat that process of adding that distress ink, it doesn't reactivate the paint and pull it off. So I'll do that to both, and I'll let it thoroughly dry. And that's where I glued on the bird using the E6000. And then I'm coming in and I'm going to do the same thing that we did to the birds to the base of these candlesticks using the distress ink and my top coat. And reactivating that ink, smearing it around onto our candlesticks, making sure it gets into all those little nooks and crannies of all that texture we built and all the little crusty goodness, I guess you would call it. And then we're just going to go ahead and repeat that process again for the second candlestick, coming in again with our top coat and smearing around that piece. Now for the second one, I'm going to glue this pretty nest up on top. I'm going to add some eggs to it, and then we're just going to decorate these with just a little country chic, like, what's it called, doily kind of lace, I call it. And we're going to come in and put bows on the bottoms of these. I'm going to come in with some little vintage buttons and a rustic little safety pin, a light bulb safety pin, and I'm going to attach that to the bow. And then we're going to come in with our hot glue gun and glue up on our nest here so that it stays up there. Now, if you wanted to, it would be easy to pull this off if you wanted. And then for the bird stand, we're going to go ahead and repeat that process of putting on that distress ink on the base, using our top coat to smear it around into all that little crusty goodness that we created. And the spots where I did pull off some of that white paint, I just come back in and hit those spots and seal the piece. Once again, we're coming in with that same style bow. and our little safety pin with some vintage buttons, and we're going to add that to the bow as well. And on this piece I add a little pieces of greenery. Since our bird nest has greenery, I'm going to pull some. Don't forget to follow my Facebook business page for updates, reels, and lives. Let's go ahead and move on to project number 3, which is this piece I already finished, and it was sitting in my stash because I think I took it off and then I don't think I ever put it back on. So I'm just going to go ahead and redo it, make it new. And there was no bites on it really, so we're just going to go ahead and change it up. Now, I come in with the E6000, and you saw the birdsong mode from IOD as well, and the resin, the quick dry resin, and I made this little bird mold. So I'm going to come in and glue this down, and I know it's broken here, but I'm just going to work with it. And I'm going to come in with some, what is this tape called? Painter's tape. And seal that in, let this dry thoroughly, and then we're going to come in and layer up some paint here. Now I already painted this piece in cathedral taupe just to let it dry so that we come in, we can thoroughly coat everything up here. And I'm just going to do, I think I do 2 layers of paint here. I'm not quite sure, but I go ahead and let these thoroughly dry. Now you guys, I had another option here that I did, but I didn't like it, so I didn't put it in the video because this video is already quite long. But you know me, usually I just share all the oopsies and the change of minds that I have. But we're going to go ahead and come in now with some Noel color, and we're going to make some pinstripes or grain stripes. And I'm just doing them freehand because I'm not worried about perfection. I'm not worried about the lines being perfectly straight here, because I am going to come in and we're going to layer, distress, and do all that good stuff to make this board even more of a rustic look. And then I'm just coming in once again with my flathead brush and making some stripes here. Now if you're going to do this to where you want your grain stripes nice and neat, you want to go ahead and tape that off. And of course you want to put your grain stripes on before you put your birds and your moldings on. That way they're in the background and you don't have to do what I'm doing here and work around that bird. And then I come in just with a smaller flathead brush, and we're going to make the thinner lines here. Also, you could probably do a really thick line in the center covering up the whole bird. That's another thought I had as well, and do thinner stripes on the sides, but I went ahead and went this route. So we're going to go ahead and continue on here and do our second line. Remember, this is not perfect. They're not straight. They're not even. I'm not worried about that because we're going to come in and distress it. And I want this to look like a hand, messy, old, crusty, rusty, distressed piece. And I'm going to just come in now and layer up some DIY dark wax around all the edges. And I'm just going straight from the dark wax onto the board. Now, if you want some more workability here, if that's even a word, you can go ahead and come in with your clear wax first, and that'll help you blend in that dark wax a little easier. But I want mine really stark on the edges, so I just went in without any kind of clear wax or anything. Mind you, also, if you put this on and you want to take some off, you can put your clear wax on and then wipe some of that DIY off as well with it. Now I'm just coming in with my sandpaper here, and I'm distressing the piece and going over the lines. Mind you, we do have that green layer underneath, so that's going to pop out underneath too. And then we're going to go down into some of the wood tones and just make this really look dingy and old. Then I'm just continuing on sanding it until you like the look. You guys just work with it until you see, okay, there it is. There's the project that I want to see. And then we come in with a second layer of dark wax to layer that into all those sanding spots and expose more of that wood tone, bring it out, and just dingy up the piece a little bit more. Come in with my rag and wipe off all the excess, and then I come in with a crockery stamp here and my archival ink in black, and I go ahead and stamp those pieces on there. Now, usually you want to stamp before you wax, but this actually worked for me, so I went ahead and did it this way. We're going to come in with some new greenery and a new fresh bow here with the same kind of doily lace looking thing for our country chic vibe here. And I'm going to go ahead and trim it, and then I'll come in with my lighter and like burn the edges so that it doesn't unravel. You can catch me live every Friday at 9 a.m. on Pacific Standard Time over on my Facebook. And here are the finished products. Thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more DIY videos.